December 21st, 2025. No sirens, no arrest, no crime scene tape. Just a stage, a microphone, and a moment that detonated across the internet in seconds. Because sometimes the most unsettling shifts don't happen in the dark. They happen under bright lights with applause. This is a story about a date that changed how millions of people see a pop icon, not because of what she hid, but because of what she said out loud. This is a grimy date. On that night, in a room filled with conservative activists, political influencers, and MAGA loyalists, Nicki Minaj walked onto the stage at Turning Point USA's AmericaFest completely unannounced and said things no one expected her to say. Within hours, fans were unfollowing her by the thousands, comment sections were on fire, and a new chapter in her public identity was written in real time. Nicki Minaj has never been easy to categorize. For most of her career, she floated above politics, occasionally brushing against controversy, but never fully planting her flag. Her fan base, the Barbs, spans identities, cultures, genders, and political beliefs. She's long been embraced by LGBTQ+ fans, praised for her unapologetic femininity, and seen as a symbol of self-expression rather than ideology. But in 2025, something shifted. Earlier in the year, Nicki appeared at the United Nations alongside figures aligned with the Trump administration, speaking about violence against Christians in Nigeria. That moment raised eyebrows, but many dismissed it as a humanitarian stance rather than a political one. Then came social media posts that felt warmer towards conservative talking points. Praise for traditional masculinity, criticism of progressive leaders, subtle at first, but noticeable. By December, the shift was no longer subtle. AmericaFest is not just a conference, it's a cultural signal hosted by Turning Point USA. It's a space known for hard-right rhetoric, aggressive culture war messaging, and unapologetic alignment with Trump-era conservatism. This particular AmericaFest carried an emotional weight. It was the first since the loss of life of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk earlier in the year. So when Nicki Minaj walked out on the stage on December 21st, it wasn't just surprising, it was symbolic. Let's unpack exactly what happened. Nicki's political views have evolved dramatically in 2025. Earlier in the year, she was hard to categorize politically with a fan base that skewed liberal or apolitical. As mentioned earlier, she spoke at the United Nations alongside the Trump administration about violence against Christians in Nigeria. It's a speech that signaled an alignment with some conservative causes. Around this time, she began publicly embracing parts of MAGA rhetoric. She appealed to conservative audience in ways that surprised many fans. This backdrop is important. Her AmericaFest appearance didn't happen in a vacuum. It was the latest step in a very public shift rightward that left longtime fans confused, upset, or feeling betrayed. On December 21st, 2025, Nicki made her AmericaFest debut on stage with Erica Kirk. The moment quickly hit headlines for several reasons. She openly praised President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance as role models for young men. She mocked California Governor Gavin Newsom, calling him new scum, and criticized his politics regarding transgender youth, a comment that ignited additional controversy. She framed her appearance as a message about confidence, identity, and cultural strength, and even told the audience, "We are the cool kids," aligning with conservative culture. But the moment that really went viral wasn't about politics or policy. It was a brief moment of language that couldn't be taken back. While praising Vice President J.D. Vance, Nicki said something awkward. "Dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president, and you have amazing role models like assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president." She immediately realized what she'd said, covered her mouth, and paused. The audience murmured, and some laughed. Why did this explode online? Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, was recently assassinated. So calling someone else an assassin on that stage, was jarringly insensitive to many viewers. People online questioned whether she really meant assassin in the literal sense or if she mistakenly used the word and meant to say something like strong or battle-tested. Regardless, the clip spread like wildfire. J.D. Vance later responded on social media without criticism, focusing instead on her broader message.
And what do you think about for young men? For young men.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord. And words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. And I will not judge that.
Sister. Thank you.
Part of the buzz around Nicki's appearance is tied up with a quote widely shared online. She said, "It's okay, be boys," she said. "There's nothing wrong with being a boy." How powerful is that? How profound is that? Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some interpreted this as a comment about masculinity or gender norms. Others saw it as dismissive of conversations around gender identity and inclusivity. That line became a flashpoint because Nicki's audience has long included fans who value progressive stances on identity, and this marked a clear break.
For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen.
How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Amen.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
The internet did not hold back. Many longtime fans began unfollowing Nicki on social platforms almost immediately after the event. Critics accused her of abandoning her artistic roots for political spotlight. LGBTQ plus advocates and allies were particularly critical of her comments about "it's okay, be a boy" and the Newsom jab, framing it as harmful or exclusionary rhetoric. Even seconds-long clips of the assassin phrase were reshared millions of times across TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube. For many, this wasn't just a political shift. It represented a cultural realignment. She went from pop icon to controversial political figure in mere minutes. On one side, conservatives and MAGA-aligned commentators praised her for being brave, stepping outside the unusual celebrity political bubble, and bringing attention to causes like religious freedom and faith. J.D. Vance publicly thanked her and noted her message of unity. On the other side, many former fans felt betrayed, accusing her of abandoning progressive values. LGBTQ plus advocates criticized her language and the context of her comments. Social media users questioned whether she understood the implications of some of her rhetoric. The result, a polarizing mix of praise and intense backlash that has become one of the biggest celebrity political storylines of the late 2025. Nicki Minaj's surprise Turning Point USA appearance on December 21, 2025 is a reminder of how quickly pop culture and politics collide and how heavily public opinion can shift in a flash. Whether you agree or disagree with her views, this moment has sparked a nationwide conversation about celebrity influence, political identity, and cultural power in the modern era. Thank you for journeying down this darker path on Grimy Dates. If you want more stories buried beneath the glitter of history, subscribe, comment, and let me know which forgotten truth you want uncovered next. Until then, remember that sometimes the brightest stories cast the darkest shadows, and here on Grimy Dates, we're not afraid to step into them.